Oh, I know it's been a while since we've done cold open question, so I actually have a two-part. To be honest, like the games weren't wins. I feel like honestly, the last few weeks, a lot of the conversation has kind of just been like, nah. Instead of kind of like diving deep into the like intricacies, the minutia of the matches, I feel like we should just kind of have these like larger, bigger conversations about the club and situations based off of, I guess, the games and situations in there, the things that Pep have said. So we're gonna start here first. No Champions League, seemingly no Premier League. Hell, I mean, it's only one Champions League. If Pep were to leave in the summer, is that a failure? Does he think that's a failure?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have to win 6 Champions League to be recognized in that. I know, listen, I started my career young. You know, in the second team Barcelona with 37 years, we were promoted in the new league. And after Barcelona, when the travel is sextuple. Since then, if I don't win the travel sextuple, my team is a failure. So I know that since the day one. First season, you remember first season here? Why are you going to win the Champions League? We won 100 points. Why are you going to win the Champions League? Why are you going to win the Champions League? At the end, we won it. Why you want to fix the right Champions League?
I mean, he makes a point. So I guess let's start there. If we only get one Champions League through Pep, say he stays another season or two, and we still don't win the Champions League, he eventually retires, he goes off in the sunset. Because the media is kind of framing it this way. I don't know if you've seen some of the like post Real Madrid conversation topics where Pep has only gotten us one Champions League despite all the money spent and all the world-class players that have been through the club. Would you consider Pep's tenure at Manchester City, I can't believe I'm finishing this question, a failure? Sharpie, we'll start with you.
No, no. Would I have said I wanted a second one when he didn't start Roger Fernandinho against Chelsea? Yeah. But I'm not going to say him not winning 2 or 3 or 4 Champions Leagues is a failure at all. He's been the most successful Premier League manager in trophies per year managed by far. And I think people forget about that. Like Sir Alex Ferguson was there for over 20 years. Pep's going to do what, 11 at most, and has the number of trophies he has, right? So yeah, he's the greatest Premier League manager ever, and I'm happy if we only get one. What about you, Tarik?
Yeah, I was asked this question on a stream the other day. I think the framing is ridiculous because, again, they want to talk about how much money was spent and this, that, and the other. The reality is, even, you mentioned Sir Alex Ferguson. He won 2, and he was there for however many years, right? It was at least 9 years in between his first and his second. So even if you say that, okay, well, maybe Pep could have got one more in that time frame, but it's not like it's way off base. Because again, the only other person that's in the conversation for best manager ever had a 9-year span in between as well, right? So I just don't think that this conversation, I mean, I know you have to ask it, but it's a ridiculous conversation to be having. And again, it's just to try to find one more thing to try to beat Pep with, because we went out of the Champions League, and that was unfortunate and disappointing. I'm with Sharpie. Would we have liked to have won more? Sure, of course. If things go just a little different, could we have 2 or 3? Yeah, but I'm not to say it was a failure is way too strong. But you got to answer those questions, I guess.
I think a better question is this: would someone trade, let's say, 4 of those Premier Leagues?
Oh God, here comes
so he only has 2 Premier Leagues, but he's won 3 Champions Leagues. Like, would you make that trade, or would you keep it as is? Because I think he's at 6 and 1, right? So 7 total. Would you want to make that more balanced if possible? Or are we happy that we have the formidables and we done all the domestic things that literally will never be touched again? Like, I think that's a harder question, honestly.
Arsenal is got a chance, but we hope that we got to beat them. We got to beat them to keep.
Oh no, I'm talking about 4 in a row. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I thought you meant. I meant you meant
Sorry,
like
my bad.
the quad,
domestic quad.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think I would, because I'm one of those people, and I've said this before, right? The Premier League is my bread and butter. It's where I get the most joy from. So would I trade it? No, but and I could make an argument where I give up one for one, right? Give up one Premier League for a Champions League. Sure, I'd have 2 and still have what do you say, 5? Yeah, I would do that. But to me, winning the Premier League is kind of where it's at. So I'm glad we won at least one to get that monkey off our back. But you want to win more, but for me, I'd rather win the Premier League every single year.
That's fair.
And run that up.
Okay, well, if you weren't frustrated by Pep,
did you answer that question?
I'm asking the questions here, sir. I'm asking the questions here.
No. Charlie asked that question about trading up your trophy. Putting you on the spot, sir.
No,
sir.
It is what it is. It is
Kyle Walker.
it is what it is. We've won what we've won. I wouldn't want to change anything any other way, because it's like which one are we trading off? Like, in that, like, that's the conversation. Because if we take away any of the ones in a row, then it's not in a row anymore. And that's kind of what loses the power.
Give up the first one.
Yeah. Okay, so second to me is the more of the interesting conversations. Pep was talking about pressure, and he says the real pressure is on teams like Real Madrid, not Man City.
This club, we arrived to make the bar a little bit high in terms of Champions League, and we didn't achieve that. Always this is not a good thing, but it's fine. That is good. I would love that club have the feeling that Madrid has. Still don't have for the history. Madrid has, if you don't win the Champions League, is a failure. That is pressure. Pep is a failure, is not win the Champions League, but it's fine. But Man City is not expectation. That is the pressure. With the time, maybe we'll get that.
And along that point, that's why I think it's kind of funny how people ask if the one Champions League would be a failure for Pep. Before Pep came to City, no one even imagined Champions League, let alone winning a Champions League title. So all of the things that Pep has done were things that haven't happened at City per se. Like, they've won FA Cups, 100, like the first FA Cup was won by Man City. Like, you have to go way back decades before the last time they've won a League Cup or something like that. But the heights that City has seen under Pep, we have never been as a club, have never been there. I agree with it. Was very similar to how we had to learn to beat City. It was like Pep used that description that we're just a baby. We need to get like a teenager. We need to become older, an adult, where we can stand like eye to eye with Real Madrid. I mean, you're never going to catch up to 15 Champions Leagues, but we have the one, and that's a step in the right direction. I get what he means, but when you heard that, did you hear what some people were saying? The social media streets were saying Pep called Man City a Mickey Mouse club.
I don't think he called it a Mickey Mouse club. I think people don't like real life context and real life situations, because historically, as you just said, we are not Real Madrid, right? Like, they have literally decades of winning this thing. I think, honestly, the better comparison is us to Barcelona, right? Barca hasn't won a treble or hasn't won a Champions League since Messi. I believe it was 2015 when they had MSN, that front three. So that's an 11-year drought this year, right? Now, they just won today. Who knows? This might be the year they break it. But that's Real Madrid's biggest competition. And they're the club that literally can't get over the hump in Champions League, right? They had all their financial issues. They missed it a bunch of times. So they're trying to get back to that mountaintop in this generation. Pep has set the standard at City the same way he set the standard at Barca. So now every manager, whoever's next after him, has to reach the standard. Real Madrid, the standard is the standard. It doesn't matter who manages, you know what it is. And like you said, that pressure is there, or you're going to get fired like Javi Alonso, because we don't think you're going to do it. And so it's like, I feel okay knowing, hey, we always are going to compete top 2 in the league. 3 is like a horrible year like last year, whatever. And then in Champions League, yeah, we want to win it. We want to go as far as possible. But as Tarik said, that doesn't, if you were a true supporter and we played 38 matches in one competition and at most, 20 in the other, if you go all the way, like they just don't compare. Like the league is so much harder to win for that reason because it takes so long to do. And it's a true body of work versus like Champions League, you get got by a red card and you're out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't think any sensible fan is just like, yeah, we are Mickey Mouse Club because we only won 1. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely not the whole Mickey Mouse Club. I haven't even seen this conversation online, so somehow I got spared from this. But what I would say is definitely not a Mickey Mouse Club, and I think it is a acknowledgement that we are not, quote unquote, the biggest club in the world, the biggest club in Europe, maybe probably not even the biggest club in England, right? We're just not. And that's okay. It's okay to not be that. But I also think that you don't want to minimize it too much, though. So for Pep to be like, oh, there's no pressure, there's no expectation. No, that's not true. There's, and maybe I don't know if he's answering that from the front office standpoint. If I don't win the Champions League, Khaldoon's not coming in here and running me out of my job. Sheik's not calling up on the phone saying you're fired. Those things aren't happening, and maybe those things do happen at a Real Madrid. So, from that standpoint, he's relatively safe from that standpoint. But I will tell you that from a fan base standpoint, maybe not to say we have to win the Champions League every year, but I think there is an expectation of trophies at this point. There is an expectation of trophies every year. And the idea of going 2 seasons potentially trophyless has got people like minds like going crazy. It does not compute. It just does not compute. So, yeah, I think that there is a lot more expectations than maybe he is letting on. And again, it could very well be the way he's answering the question. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Can I paint a picture real quick?
Oh, please.
I just want to paint a picture for the people who aren't watching on YouTube or wherever, and you're just listening to this on your wherever you get your podcasts from. I need you to understand that I'm sitting here looking into my screen, and I see my show bro with this North Carolina basketball jersey on. He's got his guns out. Probably just came back from the gym. What are we doing?
Yeah, he's flexing
got his guns out, muscles. He been lifting. He just came back from the gym. He got a little quick pump up before he came on screen. He was like, "Let me make sure I got the guns ready to go."
Y'all ready
for all of our single female listeners? I need you to go to YouTube.
Ow.
Check this out on YouTube. You might want. Yeah, I'm just saying, go check it out on YouTube. My man has got the guns out.
Hey, DM us. I have a few questions I'll ask you, and if I need to, I'll slide you his number.
I'll tell you.
At Sharpie Charlie, all baddies welcome. Come through.
I'll tell you what jersey number to get when you buy your Shades of Blue kit, so you can rock it like in high school you wear the little boyfriend jersey number. I'll tell you what number to get so you can rock it and send the pictures in.
Yo, here's what I'm gonna say. In my defense, okay? Yeah,
you
I had
don't
to
need to
work out
defend it.
today.
It's all good, man.
I'm just saying because I'm not trying to show off. A brother was hot. I came out the shower post workout. It's a lot. We're in the spirit. I'm trying to find joy. Oh, March Madness starts. It's already here, baby. UNC plays on Thursday. So when this comes out, it's the kickoff of the round of 64. UNC plays Thursday night, 6:50 Eastern versus VCU. Big game. And I was like, what can I do to show me some joy? Because I'm not going to put a city jersey on. Whole club is disappointing me this weekend. I need to find some joy. And so I was like, hey, this. And usually when I go to work, I'm going to put a long sleeve shirt underneath it, right? Can't have the guns out at work. But recording, I was like, let's be comfortable. Let's air it out. But Tarik, I knew what you were going to say once you started saying paint a picture. I was like, I know what's coming.
Did you?
Yeah, I felt it. I was like, I know he's about to talk about it. It's not nothing to do with Man City right now. He's gonna put him out there. But hey, as he said, DMs are open at Sharpie Charlie, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Holla at your boy.
Take pleasure and give your pleasure. And
That's what we doing, baby. First line of my dating app. There it is.
We making art over here, capitalize the A. We just gonna get into it. Fucking come on. Hey. And welcome to season 5, episode 174 of Shades of Blue.
This is culturally inappropriate.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's games, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here, capitalize A. I am Crunk Chocolate. I'm here with the show bros, Tarik, Sharpie Charlie. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling 4 years old, man. I feel like we just got our high school diplomas. We're ready for college now.
Hey.
Ready to go to uni. You know, we've been doing this only podcast covering the men and women for 4 years running. And I think we need to talk our shit a little bit. Come on, man. It's a different level of support when you support everybody in the club. You don't just go to the men. No, we love everybody. We've been on the struggle. We've had the manager changes on the women's side. We're on our way close to the mountaintop, but we're not there. Tom will not call that man. We close, but Tom not gonna call that man's name till we get enough points. Okay, we got 11 more to get. And yeah, man, I think that's a beautiful thing to celebrate. Yes. Like I talk shit all the time. Like I told it when I went on to Roberto's pod. I was like, yeah, like make sure you say we're the only one that covers the men and women in the world. I haven't heard one yet that does. So let's be great. Let's excel, and that's what we do, man.
Love it. What's up, Tarik?
Doing good, man. I pulled the screen up last night on my stream and was like, look, y'all go get y'all shirts. Go ahead and order them.
Hey.
I'll send you the link. I posted the link in the chat. Y'all want the link? Go ahead. It's only $40. Go ahead and get y'all shirts. So yeah, man, you know, like you said, 4 years, man, is time flies when you're having fun, because it just feels like it was just yesterday, but I know it's not, because you know, you think about all the milestones in your life that have happened along the way. So you realize like time has gone by, but man, it's been fun.
Yo, we need to do one of those pictures of like the starting 11 from the first match we covered to now, and how many people are left in the club. It'll probably be like John Stones, Haaland, and Foden.
If
and
you
Bernardo.
do that at
those
the
like
beginning,
and Roger, it's only 5.
I say if you do that at the start of next season, it may not even be them 5. We may not have none.
Like, now we talking.
Shades of Blue, the only one still standing.
Manager gone, everybody gone.
Yeah.
Shades of Blue, the next generation.
All the joy.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if this is your first time here. If you're enjoying the audio only version, if you haven't, go to YouTube, check out this episode, see the gun Sharpie's going. He's got some AR-13s going, baby. Let's go. Rate, review, all those things. Any attention that you give our episode in a rate, a review, a subscribe, all that stuff, it boosts the algorithm. It pushes us. It tells Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, YouTube, hey, people like this. Hey, we should recommend you to other people, not even just City fans, just football fans in general. We are trying to grow this pod always, just 4 years in, and there are plenty more City fans who can listen to us, join Shady Gang. We want people in. And like Tarik said, if you don't know, we have 4th anniversary Man City kit. Look at it. It's gorgeous. I'm saying this because I'm going to clip it up and put the picture of the kit in the graphic. So check it out. The link for the kit will also be in the episode description. So if you're watching or listening, you want to know what that link is, it'll be there. Check it out. $40, $45 if you want to put your name and a number on it. So of course you do. Gorgeous kit. It is inspired by Man City's 2013-14 third kit. It's a classic. The moment you see it, you're like, yes, you'll want to get it. Represents Shady Gay.
Did you see the images of the what is believed to be the third kit for next season?
It's the same thing.
It is very similar. Yeah, it's the same.
We're
It's
doing
inspired by that. It's just in the
center. Oh yeah, it's
so,
in the center. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but it's still that same blue. It looks very much like what we're doing.
Yeah,
it's just the sashes off.
Yeah. So today we will be talking the draw to West Ham, the loss to Real Madrid. Then in Baby Blue Baddies, Alex Greenwood, she got an honor. So we'll talk about that real quick. Then we'll talk about the draw to Aston Villa and all that was, and the return to from international break with some players still missing from the Asia Cup that affected the squad a little bit, but also gave others time to shine. And Jackie got to talk about a couple of the other players, so I have that clipped up. Yeah, a fun conversation about everything. Let's get into it. 1-1 draw at West Ham. Donnarumma, Nunes, Huzanov, Gahey, Nori, Rodri, Silva, O'Reilly, Semenyo, Marmoush, and Haaland. I thought this could be him trying to be like, hey, is this a possible starting 11 for the match against Real Madrid? Let's try some things. And then the match kind of went how it went. And I was like, okay, no, that it is what it is. But hey, you rested Diaz. I was intrigued by that. What were your thoughts of the starting 11, Tarik?
I mean, yeah, I think pretty much. So there's been a lot of people calling for Kuzanov over Diaz. He gave us that. The rest of it is pretty straightforward. Again, I don't know if I like the way we actually set up with two up top and, Semenyo kind of underneath that. I don't really like that. But as far as the players that are on the pitch, yeah, I don't really have any issues with it. You could, we could have this player versus that player. But at the end of the day, I thought it was a solid lineup.
Yeah, and that's a conversation really about the club, and we'll talk about it later. That is a subject topic is who do you play, when do you play, how do you have them set up? There's really so many directions you can go, and if you make a change, is it that substantial? It's all very interesting. Yeah, Sharpie, what were your thoughts?
I'll just focus on the midfield, man. Like, I hate seeing Rodri and Bernardo Silva playing on 3 days rest. I believed it was a great opportunity. If you knew you were going to play them in the, second leg versus Real Madrid, go play Nico G and Cherky. They were rested. They didn't play against Real Madrid. You got fresh legs, creativity, pace, all the things you need against a side that's not an offensive juggernaut, right? So, like, it for me, that's the frustration. And I'm not saying we'll get into the match. I'm not saying that was the issue in the match, but it would have been a great opportunity to get Nico G some shine, at least.
That's fair.
I agree with that.
I have nothing really about the match. Like I said, all of my conversations and topics are bigger picture for the most part. So I guess the only thing that I get that West Ham's goal. It seemed silly, frustrating to give up. I guess that is really probably the only conversation topic because it felt like for most of the match, City had things in control. Even when they got the goal, I honestly really leading up to the corner, like it really felt just like, all right, they got a corner, cool. And then all of a sudden, Mavropanos just launches up in the air all alone and just bangs the header in. Donnarumma fucking his width. Goodness gracious, that was actually embarrassing. And he's done this, maybe not necessarily gone to hit the ball and then completely missed, leaving for an open goal. But he's gone to hit and he's missed. All right, he's gone to make connection and the ball just goes 2 meters to the right. And then so there's a scramble. His weakness of being in the air is very obvious in key moments like the business end of the season. People want to try to say it's okay because, or like the excuse is, hey, it wasn't much of an experience that he had to do. He's not seeing that many like crosses pinged in consistently, corners pinged in consistently at Serie A. But now that you're here at the Premier League, is it something that he should adjust? Should we expect him to adjust? Should we expect him to get better at it? Like, how are we supposed to feel about this goal that Mavropanos scored? Is it just a one-off, or should we just get used to this being our future now that Donnarumma is our keeper?
I just want to say this. I think people are unequally harsh on players, right? There's some players, when they make a mistake, it's the end of the world, and you feel like, how can they come back for it? Savinho. Then there are others who make a clear mistake as a professional, as a world champion, as the guy that's been playing goalkeeper since he was 16 years old, a very routine cross. You can't get your 6'6" self in the air and clear it. But yet it's, hey, it happens. No, it doesn't. That's 3 points. Because that was literally their only shot of the game. They did not have another shot, y'all. Like, the defense was beautiful. The game plan was perfect. 2.0 XG to like 0.2, whatever. It was phenomenal. And the goalkeeper didn't make the play. And I just want the same harshness we give to a 21-year-old playing on the wing as a sub, or as a winger who didn't get the ball a lot and didn't create, and apparently he had to get subbed off at halftime. I want the keeper, who's supposed to be a world champion, to get more flat. Like, let's be fair. Let's call a spade a spade. It was trash. It was abysmal. I think James Trafford gets his very young athletic self up there and easily clears that ball, because it wasn't a crazy cross. No, he clears it, and we move on, and we win the match 1-0. Like, I really think it's a time to think about which keeper is better overall. Because to me, that's a huge part of keeping in the Premier League. You know you're going to face crosses. You know that's the way teams try to score with all those set pieces, thanks to Arsenal. So, like, what are you going to do in goal? Are you going to go with the guy who's not good at that? Or are you going to go with the kid who has all the athleticism in the world and can easily stop that? He probably catches it with 2 hands, because we know Donnarumma can't. Or at least he's going to fist it out with 2 hands, because he's big. Like, yeah, it's very frustrating now thinking about it. Having days to really see how I felt, I'm like, no, like, that was a really big mistake that cost us 2 points. And really, as we know, kind of ended our Premier League campaign. Let's be real. Mathematically, we have less than a 5% chance to win this thing, because we need Arsenal to lose more games in the last 8 than they've lost all season. Mm-hmm. The math ain't mathing, y'all. So it's just like, that would at least keep us some hope alive. And yeah, I don't hate Donnarumma. I think he's been a great keeper overall. He's made some incredible saves. His shot stopping, top notch. But that is a huge flaw in his game. It's like a striker who can't finish with their strong foot. Like, it's just weird. Like, why can't you do that? That's your whole thing, right? As a big keeper, you should be able to do this. He's not Jordan Pickford. So that's how we had Italian Jordan Pickford in goal. That's what it looked like.
Honestly, and he's much larger than Jordan Pickford. So Tarik, are we expecting too much out of Donnarumma? Does he need to change his game plan to be more? Because we've seen his reactions are pretty good. He covers a lot of ground, so maybe he just needs to, instead of trying to go out there and meet the ball, hope your teammates get ahead to it. But if not, watch it and then make the save in the moments. Like, does he need to change his style? Like, what should we be feeling or expecting or hoping from Donnarumma?
When Ederson was here, he got killed by our fan base towards the end, because the idea was 1 shot, 1 goal. Teams would get 1 shot and they'd get a goal, which is exactly what happened against West Ham, right? He's got to come get that. He's got to come, or to your point, or you just got to be a wall and make sure that header doesn't come in or whatever. But it feels like he should be able to go and grab that. You talk to people who watched him way more than I did. They all knew this was going to be an issue. They knew that, him coming for crosses was going to be his weakness in his game. And because it's the Premier League, you got to do it. You have to be good at that. So yeah, it's a concern that he struggles in that area, because it's going to be it is a major part of the game, and it's only going to get more and more as people continue to have success with it. So yeah, he's got to get better. And this is why, coming into last season or coming into this season, I think the expectation was we're going to have Ederson, who's going to finish out his last year, and we're going to have Trafford, who's going to learn from him and be his replacement long term. If you think about it that way, this is about the time that, Trafford would be ready to step in and be the number one. Is there a conversation to be had there? Quite possibly. Again, not coming for Donnarumma, because again, without some of the saves he's made, we probably are way worse.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, maybe with Trafford's distribution, maybe we get some extra points somewhere. I don't know, but not coming for him. But I think that this is going to continue to be exposed, and we saw levels. And again, we're not talking about it yet, but we saw levels when we saw Courtois. That dude is insane, man. He's not good with his feet, but he's good everywhere else. And so it's like, for as good as Donnarumma has been, we saw levels when we played against Real Madrid the other night. So yeah, I think he's got to be better. And that's, that not trying to sound ungrateful for what he's done, but we need more out of that position.
That's fair. Yeah, so 1-1 frustrating result of the match. Pep mentioned how the players basically flew home from Madrid Thursday morning. They rested that whole day. Then Friday they come to practice, but basically practice is just moving your legs. And then they played on Saturday. So no time to really practice and not even really to truly rest, because you're just resting from traveling and all that other stuff. But Pep, I feel like, described the match well enough.
January. Football is unpredictable. They have one chance to score one goal, but happened in the past. They always have a team that control many aspects and concede one goal, one chance about. We're able to score 3 and 4. And as the game, this type of games, we were able to do it. I remember Sunderland. I remember the 1st of January, or 1st of January. We play outstanding, especially second half, the chance we create. And after Chelsea, Brighton today. I'm not talking about Arsenal away, that they deserve to win. We got a point that we didn't deserve, and against United that they were much better than us, but the other games we played were much better.
Games like this happen often. We can be the better team and not win, as he said, against Sunderland. In the 2-0 loss to United, referenced by Pep, Man City did control possession, 68% for the whole match, but United were the ones with 7 shots on target to City's 1. United had 2 shots off the post. I get what he's saying. City Centurion season. You knew a goal was coming in the league. The treble season, it felt like a goal was going to come no matter what troubles put in front of us. KDB would make the pass. Going back, Cancelo would have a mad moment of brilliance. Mahrez coming off the bench was a guaranteed goal. Mr. Whippy would save us. Ederson with a key pass or an assist to a goal. Hell, even Vinny, no, don't shoot. Watching now, I feel like there's qualifiers for any person who touches the ball. Oh, well, if Doku has the ball, is Haaland or someone going to read his run the right way? Semenyo, oh, damn, I hope his first touch is good. Foden, is he even feeling confident? Reinders, yeah, he can get a shot, but is it on target? Will Haaland get an actual touch on the ball in front of a goal? Can Shirky get the pleasure in the few seconds that he has on the ball without getting smothered? Last season's squad was too old. We have to give it a refresh. Time for the build. This season is too new. We have to give them time to build chemistry. City have won more games this season than last. Sure. We're in further in more competitions this season than last. Sure. The highs are higher, but equally it feels like the lows are lower. It's just, I don't even really know like what question I'm exactly asking of this. It's just, with this squad, it is hard to consistently feel confident in this squad, right? Like, obviously we back the guys. We are always going to give them our support. We think anything is possible. But leading to the rest of the season, I literally have no idea how to feel about any of these upcoming matches.
I think for me, as you were saying that beautiful soliloquy, the issue is that Pep doesn't, in my opinion, play the best 11. Whereas in years past, I think we knew what the best 11 was. Like, we're still having debates in March about who is the best 11. Should it be Bernardo? Should it be Shirky? Should it be Semenyo? Should it be Doak? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even Haaland, the worst running form in the City shirt. Should he be starting right now? Should this be a time for Marmoush to play through the middle, right? Like, these are valid questions because, like you said, play has been so inconsistent. And when you have that, you know you have talent, but talent does not mean production. And the production has been so inconsistent. So, yeah, it just leaves us very confused. It's like that shrug emoji, right? Just like, I feel like Jordan out here. Like, I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens. I think we should win. But once you start watching the matches, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And even when it looks good, you get a Real Madrid situation. Pick a leg, because either one is exactly the craziness of the season, right? So it's just like, I'm happy with the progress. And I talked about perspective on the last episode, so I try to keep that. But in the moment, you're just like, yo, like, this could be better. And did y'all know Savinho wasn't in the squad for the West Ham match? Did y'all notice that? I had no idea. I was like, oh, he wasn't even there on the bench.
I think he has a niggle.
But yeah,
I knew Kova was in there, so I think I knew somebody had.
I think Savio has a niggle. I think he has an injury that he picked up another injury
because he was back for Real Madrid. That's the thing. He was back for Real Madrid as a just in case. But I don't know, man. It's frustrating, but it makes sense. But when you win 4 in a row and 6 out of 7, going 2 years without a title feels crazy.
It does.
Although talk about Arsenal going 20 plus years. Talk about United going 14 plus years now, right? Like, the perspective is messed up.
Thank you. That's the perspective that we have to keep because, again, you go in these YouTube streets, these social media streets, there's all kinds of, whatever, whether it be Pep out or whatever else. And it's because, it's 2 years. 2? We're crying over 2 compared to what they've been through. I'll take these 2 because I know we're on the right path. Now, we're praying to God we don't blow it all up and have to start all over in the summer, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, man. I can't lose sight of the fact that everyone else would love to only have a 2-year gap between Premier League trophies, right? Like, that is ridiculous. And we are so great, and greatness leads to being spoiled. It's like when you're only child and your parents are well-to-do and you have a 2-parent household, you're not used to hearing no. Like, what you mean no? Y'all both got jobs. So why can't I go here? Why can't I do this?
What else are you going to do? What else are we going to do? Yeah.
What else are you supposed to be doing? When you have all this talent and all this money and all these people, what you mean you ain't won a Premier League in 2 years, right? But in reality, that's how life works.
That's real.
This is our realistic year right here. This is the most realistic we've ever felt as football fans in this decade.
And, perfectly led me into the next topic of conversation, because speaking of best starting 11, delaying the refresh last season, possibly pushing to the refresh to another season if Silva resigns, if Rodri gets that money that he's asking for. Pep talked about finding the right balance in his lineups.
It's for sometimes for the balance. We learned in the beginning when we play Erling in that moment with Jeremy, with Cherky, we are incredible unbalanced. We are not the stability that the teams in the Premier League has to have, and that's why I try to handle for that. So that's why it's a team like is growing. I think that from the beginning we grow a lot, but still is not but sometimes, he has not the speed for Ryan. So the teams are very stable when Semenyo, Antoine, and Nico Riley play in the winger position, coming inside and go there, arrive to the box. They were really, really, really good. So yeah, I'm finding still the best way to have a stability, consistency in the team.
He feels the need to play Bernardo and Rodri, which means he can't start his best creator, because then that means our midfield is slow as fuck compared to this very athletic Premier League at the moment. The security that Rodri brings is key, but he's not necessarily the guy who can help City on the counter. He's apprehensive to adjust to the current style that works well with a Shirky, a Reinders, a Marmoush, a Savio, I8 Nori, even Kuzanov, because Kuzanov's speed allows City to play more open. How are we supposed to bring in an Anderson Wharton possibly, whilst having players on the weekly wages of Bernardo Silva and Rodri. That's also 2 extra spots. Like, are you worried?
Bernardo's going to leave, and Rodri very well might leave.
I think Kova's the more definite, right? If you talk about squad rotation. Kova, Bernardo are 100% out.
Yeah.
Rico Lewis, we don't know if he wants to stay on the bench because he damn sure ain't starting.
He's gone.
I think he's going to go on loan or something, right? Like, so you're going to have space. But what I'll say is this, man. I think that's one of Pep's worst clips of the season.
Yes.
Because it totally ignores the beautiful run of football we played at one point of the season when Nico G was the 6.
8-9 straight.
It was ridiculous, right? Like, I was there. I watched it, Pep. Don't gaslight me, bro. I saw Nico G hold down a 6 by himself because he's athletic enough. Shirky, that's how he got that league in that second in a PL assist race. Haaland was scoring goals. Foden was in that beautiful run of form, right? November, December, October, November, the fall. How do you tell me that we were unbalanced? No, we were more attacking. We might have gave up a goal, but we give up a goal anyway because our keeper can't make a save. So at least we know, hey, we're going to score 2. I don't understand why he is so reticent to go back to what was successful. And I guess he's not trying to, to disrespect Rodri. And you want him to feel good, so he does sign that extension. And we want to work him back and get him ready for Spain. He told us that, right? The goal is Rodri's going to be 100% by the World Cup. Great for Spain. But right now, Rodri's 80, 85 at best? And we need 100% in this Premier League and this Champions League competition now. And Nico G is 100% capable at 23 years old. It's very similar to Fernandinho versus Rodri. It's this history repeats itself. And that's what I'm saying, Tarik.
I agree with you 100%. The reality is I disagree with his statement fully. Just, the idea that we were so unbalanced, because if I think about it, Doku works his socks off on the wing, right? He works really hard. I don't believe that Semenyo works any harder on, tracking back and all that stuff than a Doku does. Again, that's not to single out Semenyo. I'm just saying, I just don't think that statement is valid. And again, you could put a Nico G and a Rodri together and then allow Turkey to have that free role so that he doesn't have to do as much defensive. You put him out on the wing.
Could you dare bench the captain?
Yeah.
This captain can't be benched, apparently. I've seen captains bench, but this one, he has to play. He has to at 5'7", 5'8". Yeah. He has to.
And again, I understand that he's effectively the crutch that Pep leans on, because he's been here for so long. He knows how Pep wants to play, all of that stuff. And I get that Pep trusts him, because I used a different word in a different setting. I called him his favorite, but he trusts him, and that's okay. I mean, managers have people that they trust. I get it. But if you're not willing to give these other people a chance, you run the risk of losing them, and you put it. So it feels like the exact same situation last season where he was hesitant to play the kids. We had a bunch of injuries. He had to play them. They did well, and then when the Kovas of the world came back, he went back to playing the older cats. And they got us through. But there's no saying that the young kids wouldn't have got us through either. So again, it's just he is, and I think this is where he gets himself not in trouble, but he draws the attention of those other rival fans or whoever else that says, is he going to leave, or all these things, or is he washed, or is it the game passed him by? All those conversations, right? It's because you do stuff like that. You make decisions that, again, not the manager. I don't see what's happening in training, but from the outside looking in, it feels like that's a bad decision. Why don't you let this guy was, speaking of Nico G, he was the best defensive midfielder in the league. Why are we not letting him play? He showed that he could keep us in I don't know. It's not a matter of him not being good enough. That's not it. So it's just a matter of, and maybe, like you said, maybe it is a negotiation tactic to try to get Rodri to resign. But it is not, in my opinion, in the best interest of the club as a whole.
And here's the thing: as you talk more and more, I'm just like, we know Bernardo's leaving. So if anybody's gonna be, hey, you got to go to the bench, my boy. I love you, but you can't play. Let it be the small Portuguese man. Like, run the double pivot of Rodri and Nico and G, and nobody in the citizen sphere would ever feel upset. If you say we playing Rodri and Nico G every day as a base of our 4-2-3-1, people are like, thank you, we're good.
But see,
Great.
even with that, and this is the thing, it's like, I've called Pep. Pep is a mad scientist, right? He's always tinkering. He's always flipping and changing and trying to just make it a little bit more. If I can get a 1% more efficiency out of it, I can get 1% more out of it. And he's always changing. Like most teams, it's basic. It's a 4-2-3-1. It's a 4-3-3. It's a 3-4-3. It's a 3-5-2. It's basic stuff. Pep, you don't know what it's going to be. I'm looking at 4-1-3-2. It's like, what are we doing, Pep? Why can't you just run a 4-2-3-1 like everybody else? Why you got to be difficult, man? Come on, what are we doing?
Or I think we have the lineup to run the trouble. We could run that back. You could give me 3-2-4-1 right now, because you could push up somebody.
Yeah.
If you want to play Rodri in the John Stones role, or whatever, like, you can make it the same tactics, right? The same attack. And that's what it was. I just don't understand the hesitancy. Like, what did Nico G say in Spanish that pissed Pep off? I'm going to start a conspiracy. He must have said something in the native tongue that nobody else understood, but Pep did, and he is now banished to the bench. I swear to God, that has to be the only reason he's not starting matches, because he's so good. Like, his FOTMA rating is, 7.5 for the year? It's stupid. How is he just sitting on the bench? And people that talk about, hey, he should go, his agent should look for a transfer, I would not be mad at him, because he is being disrespected. He's too good to be on the bench. Sharky, he's way better than, he's the best creator on the team. Why isn't he starting? Figure out the team around him. But Haaland is untouchable in the worst run of form. Donnarumma is untouchable as he makes stupid mistakes. I don't understand why certain people, Rodri's untouchable as he's not 100%. But the spine of the team is the most important, and the spine is the most disappointing part of the team. The math ain't math, and Pep.
Agreed.
Oh, love it. Cooking, I love it. But also talking about the future of the club. Haaland in his first season with City, 52 goals, then dropped to 38, then 31, and now 32 at this moment. So you would hope that the number will go up with 8, 9 more games, 10 more possible games of the season. Pep will always back up his human meat shield.
Sometimes the tempo, the rhythm, listen, for Erling Haaland play a striker, do you know how many central defenders today was there? 200 millions. Do you know how many holding midfielders go close to the central defenders? So they're there. It's the most difficult position in the planet. So for that, be the lever. You have to, wingers and put it there. Always we try. We're right there, look Erling, because he didn't make a movement. So it's not easy. And sometimes, we have a period of that we have to accept it.
And accept it, we are doing. Yes, as a straight-up goal scorer, Haaland, nobody better. But sadly, there's much more expected from strikers in today's game. We don't have a KDB putting on the ball on a plate for Erling anymore. Him dropping back to join the build-up play, it's not really a strength of his. Like, similar to the conversation about Donnarumma, are we just expecting too much from Haaland? Like, did he do too much scoring 52 goals his first season here? Like, if not, like, what is missing that could unlock the best version of Haaland? Like, where should we be with him right now?
Ryan Sharkey needs to be with him at all times. Because when KDB was healthy, him and Haaland started every game together, and you saw the best of Haaland. Put the best creator with the best striker, and you get better chances. You stop doing that, and they become harder to go by because you're relying on the norm, the basic play to get him goals, and that's super hard to do. But when you have somebody that can use both feet, boom, anything's open. Go ahead, Tarik, my bad.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, and I know he can make more runs, right? But if you spend the first 45 minutes making runs and the ball doesn't come, you're gonna get wore out, and you're mentally you're just gonna stop making that run. And maybe you say, well, he shouldn't do that. He's a professional. He's supposed to keep making that run. It's not. They got to we have to get him the ball, and in order to get him the ball, we have to be willing to play the pass. And the only person that's willing to do that at the moment is, well, that's not the only person. I was gonna say Cherky, but to his credit, Doku's been playing that ball too. Doku will play a through ball. Doku will play that ball out to Haaland. But it feels like those are the only two. Everyone else wants to keep it safe. And again, he has to be better when he gets the ball, right? So again, that's not to absolve him of any and all, fault, blame, whatever, because he's got some responsibility here too. But we know what this guy can do when given the chance. And again, I don't understand it because he was thriving. He was feasting at the beginning of the season. What changed?
That's the question. That's the $1 million question that people are even asking Pep in that clip. That's really where it came from. They were like, he's looking a little like fatigued. And he was like, no, he's not fatigued. And then he said all that stuff, And I do acknowledge that he is such a large dude. It's very similar to like Shaq back in the day. We see it with Bunny. Like, people can foul them so hard because they are huge human beings, and the referees just like, when we get to the Real match, I had no plans on talking about it, but Kuzanov's yellow that he got because he that was just a traditional hard center back gets in front of you and then gets back. He's bigger, he's more physical, he's imposing, he's gonna knock you down. But because Vinny drops and falls to a face, like I said, if Vinny was 5'10", that would have been back to chest and they would have been fine. But because he's such a tiny dude, it hits him in the face, he drops. It's such an egregious, aggressive foul on Kuzanov that he deserves a yellow. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting to see how things overall are just like reffed when it comes to physicality. What's allowed, what's not allowed. It's all very silly. But let's move it to the Real Madrid second leg. Woo! Starting 11, Donnarumma, Nunes, Huzanov, Diaz, Ait Nori, Rodri, Silva, Reinders, Doku, Shirky, and Haaland. Before discussing things, would you like, the thing that stuck out to me was Kuzanov Diaz. Like, I know he needs Kuzanov's speed, but he trusts Diaz, and I was interested in who would be playing that right center back position, because you would think you need to put Kuzanov there because he needs to be on the side of Vinny, but Diaz isn't necessarily the best ball playing center back, so to put him on the left with his right foot, is that the best decision? That was the only, not the only thing, but the rest of the lineup, but also similar to the first, how I felt. Okay, I can see where it's going. I can see where this could be beneficial, this could be helpful, but if it goes wrong, all hell could break loose. Like, that's just how I felt about the lineup. Was there?
And that was because of the defensive pairing and putting Diaz on his.
I wasn't sure. Like, that was the thing that, because our defense already with Real Madrid, we saw it in the first leg. We see it every single time we play them. They legitimately only need 3 seconds to go across the court, across the pitch, and score. So if you have, let alone having a center back who's technically going to have to run at defenders wrong-footed, playing on a mirror image pitch, like, how will he handle that situation?
I think Vinicius, he was up top, but he was also on that left side, mm-hmm. their left, so our right. Mm-hmm. So you want that pace on that side next to him, or to be able to run with him. So I think that's probably why they did it. Now, of course, why not Gahey? Well, because quite honestly, this match was about Sunday. Mm-hmm. It's about getting that defensive pairing ready for Sunday. So yeah, I think that's why he didn't go with a Gahey there and play the actual left footer there. But yeah, that's my thought. But again, I don't have. First of all, I came into this game with little to no expectation, right? So it's just you just go out there, you have fun. It's all vibes, man. So I didn't have any issue with the lineup. It is what it is. I was fine with it. It wasn't. He didn't completely throw it away. He didn't just like throw academy kids or whatever in there. He played a should be a solid lineup, but it was enough change in there that it was like, okay, cool.
This story of Pep's selection is 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because he got the fullbacks right. He didn't play them in Real Madrid the first leg at the Bernabeu. He gave us Nunez and Aït-Nour because they are the best fullbacks on the team. Thank you. Check. Doku starts. Check. Love it. Sharpie starts. Love it. Why is Bernardo Silva on the pitch? This is not a match where you're 0-0 and you're just trying to go like, the beautiful 2023 match, May 17th, where it's coming back to the Etihad and we we're tied, we're level, and we go win 4-0. And Bernardo is playing the best match of his career. This ain't that time, bro. 3 years is a long time in football.
Yeah, it is.
Nico G sitting right there. Like, I don't understand what Nico G had to do to not be able to play in this game down 3-0 when you're trying to attack a team. And the midfield Real Madrid plays, that's young. They have nobody over 30 in midfield. We got 2 players that are 30 and over. Again, Pep, the math is not mathing. Your trust does not outweigh the talent that players have in this moment. Trust is built over time. Talent is what you can give me today. And right now, Nico G is better than Bernardo Silva. Right now, Mark Guehi is better than Ruben Diaz. But Pep won't do it. So there it is.
Guehi hasn't been good in the Champions League, though, in my opinion.
That's fair. I think Guehi, for me, is less of an issue than the midfield. The midfield is my issue. The Guehi one, okay, I give you Ruben Diaz. Got it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what Bernardo Silva did or Rodri in this regard. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
whatever.
Again, you said earlier in the pod there, Tarik said it, like, Bernardo's his favorite. Like, we know what it is, and he's going to give Rodri everything he can to support him before going to Spain for the World Cup. Like, Pep is always going to do right to his eldest players, like his most veteran players. That, like, we saw it for the worst last season. We're seeing it now. It's all very interesting. In the game, the play was going decently in the first 20 minutes, 3 shots on goal. Until it was a Real Madrid counter. They got a shot on goal. All of a sudden, the offsides call goes. Sideline does offside. Ref blows a whistle. Ref waits for a second. They go, okay, it's offsides. Let's get play going. And then it's just, you're waiting. And you're waiting. And you're waiting. And then all of a sudden, it's showing the ball hitting Bernardo's shoulder, arm, and you're like, wait, VAR's looking at a handball? Wait, I thought it was called offside. How are you looking at a handball that happened if it's offside? I'm very confused. Handball, Bernardo's gone, Vinny scores, City down 1 at home in the second leg, already needed multiple goals. Now they need even more with the player down. How are we feeling in this moment? What are our thoughts? Like, how are we feeling about it now? Like, we can get to the whole, like, how we feel about Bernardo of it all, but the call, the situation, how it managed, how it will affect the match. Those are the things that I want to talk about now. What were your thoughts, Joe, bro? Who wants to go first? Tarik, what were your...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got thoughts about Bernardo, but I don't know, man. I mean, again, in the moment,
okay,
it looked like he was offside.
Okay. So you got that. I was gonna say. So do you think it's
a red? But then you see the semi-automated offsides that says that he's on. Now again,
if we want to talk
is
about
that manipulated? Are we saying it's manipulated? Maybe, I don't know.
Because we didn't see it till
I work in tech, so it's easy to manipulate anything. But I don't know that it was.
Well, we didn't see that until it was like the 62nd minute of the match. It was like a random moment. The game's on go, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, we have the image from the offside." And usually they would show the moment right before you kick the ball, and then it would like transform to the image, and you'd be like, "Okay, cool." So we know the exact moment that they're lining up against. They just went, "Nope, here you go. This is the offside, the onside, but they're perfectly aligned." But also someone has a hand ahead. But also, if it was called offside and it's that close, it's not clear and obvious now, is it? So, like, there are just a lot of questions you could have from
offside, we know that offside has always been either it is or it isn't. It's not about being clear and obvious. If it's offside, if the line is drawn and it's offside, it's just offside. It doesn't matter if it's offside by a toenail or by a 4 foot. It doesn't matter. If you're offside, you're offside. It's just a statement of fact. Whether we agree with it or not, they made the statement of fact that he was, in fact, onside. So then play continues and then the rest of the thing goes. Again, I just think that, again, do I like this ref? No. Do I feel like this is the ref's issue? No. At the end of the day, my guy throws his arm out at the ball. He moves his elbow to the ball and deliberately keeps the ball out of the goal. It just is what it is. He gets a yellow. He gets a red card. He gets sent off. It's exactly what he should have happened in that moment. And if it were the other way around, I would be screaming if it didn't happen the exact same way. So I can't be mad at it. I can be mad at him because he made the play. And, people will say, well, it was just instinct or whatever. And maybe it was. I don't know. I've never been in that position.
Okay.
Where you're trying to, you want to keep the ball out, but you can't use your hand and this, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that moment, but I know he made a decision that got him sent off. And if this were a keeper, we would say, just let him score. Don't foul. Don't get thrown out. Just let him score. We'll try to get so I would say the same thing to him. I'm going to have that same energy for him. Just let him score. Let the ball go in. If it goes in the net, let it go in the net. And then we just got to keep playing. We were already unlikely to come back anyway. This would have made it harder. Yes. But you being sent off and us playing down a man for 70 minutes, 60 plus minutes, that makes it harder as well. So, it is what it is.
Crunk, before I say anything, are you going to play did you clip Pep talking about defending Bernardo?
Come on, it's a mistake. It's a red card. It's the first of his career. It's an instinct action, that. And come on, it's not a decision like can be avoidable. Of course, now I would say, okay, score a goal, play against 11, 4-0 down, 75 minutes, we'll see what happens. It will have been more difficult. I know that it's the same. But come on, never ever I will blame my player for that decision.
So hold on, sorry, before you go, it's funny because he goes, look, I won't blame him. So what? He's just supposed to let it go, and then we score, and we just have to fight back? Oh, like that would make things difficult. It's like, but also, like Tarik said, losing the player makes it difficult. So, but he caught himself, and he was like, but come on. But he went back to, I think he said too much, because even like back when he was talking about he was protecting Haaland, he was like, it's just the wingers, like Doku when he makes the runs. Yeah, but Haaland doesn't make the run sometimes. But, we just have to accept it. So, like, I feel like he says the things that says, hey, he understands where we're coming from. But then the manager, the person who wants the locker room to be positive, takes over in him. And then he says the right thing. It's very interesting.
Which is fine as long as he's saying whatever he needs to say behind the scenes when nobody else is around. Say what you got to say in front of the cameras and whatever, defend them. But go in the locker room and tell them you can't make that play. It's the wrong play. You can't make that play. It's over with and done with now, but dude, you can't make that play. You got to tell him, be honest with him.
Ooh, and Sharpie, before you go, because I know exactly what's about to happen.
More, let's play the blame game for sure.
Get out.
I'm gonna give you a euro right now. I'm gonna do a little euro step, a little step over, because here's the thing. I'm coming to it. You know, I'm coming to my little guy, coming to the tiny tot. But I want to go back to what happened in the first leg of Real Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. I want to pull up FOTMob because I don't want to lie while we record, because people, you know, Google is free and people can fact check me. I look at Real Madrid. That's the lineup where Savinho started, correct? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Savinho was pulled at halftime. Being pulled at halftime when you're not injured is one of the most embarrassing things that can happen as a player, because it literally says that your first half was so bad, we got to switch it up right now. We got to lose the sub, make an immediate change. We can't give you 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Sorry, it was just that bad. But for some reason, I would bet a good amount of money Bernardo Silva's going to start after getting himself kicked out of a deciding match in the Champions League. I bet he starts that Carabao Cup final. Because as Pep just told us, everything's forgiven. Nothing was wrong. It's instinct. I would never get that on my player. But apparently, Savinho was so bad in that first half against Real Madrid, there's no way he could take the pitch in the second half. Like, he was the one guarding Valverde. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he was the one that did that. That man didn't give up 3 goals. But Bernardo can just stick his chicken wing out there, like he had Wingstop, stick a chicken wing out there, and now we down a player, down a goal, and me and Crunk ended the stream at halftime. What else are we watching? Because of Bernardo. He made a choice. My club captain made a stupid decision that you would expect out of a 20-year-old.
But it's his first red card of his season, of his career.
And the first of his career. And he did nothing wrong. He just acted on instinct, because I didn't know that people that weren't goalkeepers' instinct was to use their arms to stop a ball at the post. But Pep started a 5'8" man over a guy that's 6 foot or 6'2" or 6'4". You know, that's his choice. So he's okay with it. He's okay with what comes when you start tiny, slow people. Because a bigger, faster person is in position. That's all I'm saying. Or they just ain't stupid enough to stick the arm out there and the ball goes through and we just live to fight another day.
Or they're tall enough.
Here's the thing, bro. What is he doing?
It fits.
Just lean your body over, but you too little. So
move your body. Same thing in basketball. Don't reach. Get your body in front.
Use your feet. So again, man, I can't wait to record next week. I hope we record on Monday, because there's no midweek game. I hope we record on Monday and can just talk about the fact that Pep started Bernardo Silva after he got an intentional red card that was so preventable and avoidable. Like, he is the biggest enabler for Bernardo Silva this season. Kyle Walker, as club captain, won me a Premier League title. Bernardo Silva as club captain is going to get me what? Hopefully a Carabao, maybe a FA. Because damn sure in the Champions League, damn sure in the Premier League. That's on the captain, though. Or is it not when it's Bernardo Silva? Because he's such a great club servant. And that was my blend game 2026.
I'm with you. I am very interested in that. The starting 11 for the Carabao Cup final. So we can be upset about that foul on Shirky in the box that wasn't called a foul and not even checked by VAR. Valverde, I think it was, had a handball of a set piece, like just jumps and goes. But also, I get it. Like, he crawled into a ball and it just hits his hands and he's crouched in. But also, UEFA's pretty strict when it comes to, like, if it hits your hands, it hits your hands. Like, it's not necessarily an entirely natural pose. You, like, crawling into a ball to make yourself to, like, block the ball. But those are things, you know, it's easy to cope. It's emotionally. You know, what about isms? What about this? What about this? The effort was shown from a chunk of the players playing 10 men for 70 minutes. Pep used all 5 subs trying to make something to happen. I appreciate that. There were a lot of players running. Like, if you check the subs in it, like, if you check on FOTMob, like Semenyo and Marmouche, they ran more than they walked. Like, it was like they ran 2 miles, but only ran like half a kilometer or whatever their mode of distance is. But it's they were running, but we didn't get any goals. And in fact, we gave up technically 2. Like, one was called offside, and then Vinny just scored immediately after. Like, and again, I understand they were tired. That was a lot of running. The defense Pep made multiple subs in our defense. Like, we should have been relatively decent. It was just a moment where they turned off. The fight wasn't in them anymore. It was what it was. But who were the players in this match that left you proud? And who were the players, if there were any, that left a stale taste in your mouth?
Bernardo Silva left a stale taste in my mouth. I'm proud of everybody else. Next question for me.
So nobody else, like, because like, to your effect of like Savinho, you upset with that Savinho got pulled the first leg. Diaz and Reinders got pulled in the beginning of the second half and brought on for two defenders. I know that was adjusting for the loss of a person in midfield, but Diaz coming off, that's still a defender coming off, and he didn't have the best match.
That had nothing to do with Bernardo Silva. I mean, I'm sorry, that had nothing to do with Diaz's play. It had everything to do with Bernardo Silva. If we don't have a red card, like, it's a tactical change because of Bernardo Silva's stupidity. And I'm not going to let this grown man who's won everything in the world get away with making a stupid decision. Because, okay, they score a goal. We knew they could score. Let's go get 4. Let's go after it. They score a goal, you're down a man. Well, come on, man. Tarik, who left a stale taste in your mouth, and who did you support? The original question. Who left a positive taste in your mouth?
Was there anybody who you were positive about, Sharpie, in this match? Like, was there anybody who, like...
Literally everybody else but Bernardo Silva.
Okay.
I love the play, the heart, the fight, the drive. We kept going until we literally didn't have it anymore. We didn't get blown out like these other teams like Atalanta did, or, you know, like Newcastle did. Like, we fought down a man until the very end. Everybody made me proud except 20.
That's real. Fair.
I mean, that's probably a fair statement. I'll shout out Kuzanov, Aitnori, Doku. I like Cherky too. Cherky's always doing his thing. So, you know, I'll shout those 4. But to his point, everybody that was out on the pitch, you know, was trying their best to, you know, kind of keep this together in spite of what position and condition we had found ourselves in. So, to his point, it was not their fault. And again, I don't like to. Well, I do like to say where the blame belongs, I guess, to a certain extent. I don't like it at work, but I'm not at work. This is Podden, and bruh, this was all on him. So, you know, I don't know.
Can I make a plea to anybody that listens to this? Please tell us if you are wrong, if we're wrong. Like, please tell us if you're okay, like Pep, with Bernardo Silva's stupidity to give himself up and sacrifice any chance of a comeback. Please let us know if we're wrong, because I think we all agree he made a bad choice. Pep said it was an instinct and unavoidable, and he could do nothing wrong because it was his first one ever. Who is right? Is it Shades of Blue or is it Pep? Because I feel crazy. I feel like people are like, oh my God, no, Pep, he's right. He knows everything. But Bernardo Silva, club legend, 9 years, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I feel like I'm going crazy right now because I know what's going to happen if people get this. Like, wait, Bernardo Silva, he just tried his best. He tried to move. Nobody else did that stupid shit but him.
Yeah, we're making excuses for him.
There's an interesting quote from Pep. He said that the squad is a squad, but it is not quite a team.
Listen, when we are out here in the position Premier League, still we are not a complete team. That is the reality. I've been in a team in Manchester City when we were a team in all the different aspects that define a team, and still we are not.
He used the word complete team at first, but then he just said team in general. So that's kind of interesting wording, because at the end of the day, as the manager, that's his responsibility. That's his job. Man management. So if we're not a team, then that falls on him to say we're not a complete team. Yeah, we got some holes we got to still fill. We got some areas where we're not as strong. That's normal. No team is perfect. But if in fact he's intending to say that we're not a team and we don't, whatever, then yeah, that falls on him and he needs to look in the mirror.
I think it more leans to that whole when he's talking about how the team is unbalanced. I think it's like along the similar lines. Like he's just like, it's unbalanced. We're not a complete team.
He's using words like unbalanced when all he's saying is young. That's it. The balance is there. The positions are the positions. You're just saying young versus experienced. And I think if I was in a position as a millennial where somebody at work who happens to just be older than me and is Gen X gets a promotion because of seniority, not because of actual talent, I'm going to be pissed. So can you imagine how Nico G and them feel and Shirky feel watching Bernardo Silva and Rodri just play when you know you can run faster, you know you're more creative, you know you're bigger, stronger, and yet you just don't play because they've done it before? Like, I am so frustrated for them. And don't even think about Nico Rowley getting played out of position at the Bernabeu, hadn't played left back in 2 months, and you say, hey, go play left back in the biggest match of the season. Even though you're crushing it as an 8, go do that. I know it. Wait, why I'm getting dropped? What'd I do? It's like anybody on that team that's not Rodri, Haaland, Bernardo, or Donnarumma is touchable, and those 4 are untouchable. They can do no wrong in Pep's eyes, because if they did, they would get dropped like anybody else. But they provide the balance and the stability. Like, it's such a favoritism thing. He does have favorites. He goes off the guys that's one in the big Italian that just got there. Clearly, he's so much better than James Trafford. So he does have favorites. But he's Pep, so it's all good.
And this leads to an important question, because both of you guys have been talking about how frustrated you are in the obvious wrong choices he makes because of just who he is as a manager. Is he staying? Like, again, media asked him all these questions about him being a failure, like about his time with the city, like everybody was talking to him like he was leaving. And someone was like, hey, but the way you're talking about the club, the fire that you have, it feels like you're going to stay. You're saying we as in like future tense.
Listen, when we are out here in the position Premier League, still we are not a complete team. That is the reality.
Oops.
I'm not going to...
My bad.
When I retire in 10 years, I always City, same in Champions League, I would say I will be back because I'm part of that. Like in Barcelona, a little bit, or Bayern Munich. When I've been part of it. I'm more...
So I'll start it again. He says it immediately. When I leave in 10 years.
When I retire in 10 years, I always City, same in Champions League, I would say I will be back because I'm part of it.
So is he serious? I'm sure he won't say another 10 seasons, but is it more than 1 season? Is it more than 2 seasons? Or is this just an okie doke? Is he just saying this because he then goes, yeah, like with Barca and a little bit with Bayern. Like, I was at these places. I fell in love with these places. A part of me will always be there. And it will always be we. Like, do we want Pep to stay? Like, obviously he's the man. Like, he's gotten us to where he is. Like, but he has made some not great decisions over the last couple of seasons. So, like, how are we feeling about this? Like, how are you taking those words?
When did he join City?
2012-13 season?
No.
14?
It was like 16, 17.
Was it really?
I think it was,
because 13-14 was when Pellegrini won.
2016. That's why it's 10 years this year. 2016.
So this is what I was going to say. Him talking about 10 years is effectively this season, or depending on when he came. I don't remember exactly, but
it was summer 16. So this summer will be.
Oh, so when I retire in 10 years.
So it could very. I will have been here 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And when I walk out the door, I'm still going to say, that's how I take that, because he's definitely not going to be here 10 more years. I think if anything, there is a chance that he leaves in the summer. There's also a chance that he just sees his contract out, because he's got next year. He could just see his contract out, walk out the door, walk into the sunset. Either of those things are, I guess, probably 50-50 in my mind. And I'm okay with either one. If he decides that it's time for me to leave, I've given it all I had, I don't have anything left, I'll say, all right, Pep, appreciate you. Go do you, man. If he stays this year and he goes after the end, he doesn't renew his contract, and he's like, it's time for me to leave. All right, Pep, cool. Do you, man. Go have a good time. Go enjoy whatever. Either way, I'm going to be fine. That's just where I'm at.
But if he extends
and he really wants to be here, I'm okay with that. Again, because to me, he's special, and you're not going to find someone better than him. At least not immediately. I said he's a mad genius. He's a mad scientist, and sometimes they over tinker and they do too much. But you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the ups and the downs. You can't have one. You can't just have one or the other, right? You got to have both. So yeah, he's gonna make plenty of decisions that get taken for granted because they work, and he's gonna make the ones that don't work, and it's gonna be obvious and it's gonna be glaring, and people are gonna be upset. But you take both with it, whatever it is. I don't think he extends though. I think this is effectively running its course, whether it's this season or this summer or next. It will have run its course, most likely next, because again, to leave during a World Cup, who are you getting in? Who's going to get a preseason? You're setting the club back for next year. I don't think he's going to do
that. I will never ever utter or type the words Pep out.
Thank you.
That man has a lifetime contract as far as I'm concerned. He could do 1-on-1s like Bron did. I'll give you a 1-on-1 every year, and we just see what happens, right? Like, I'm okay. He's earned that level of like respect, trust, greatness, solidity. It's his. This job is his as long as he wants to. And if he left, just like when KDB left, just like when Raheem Sterling left, just like when Riyad Mahrez left, just like when Laporte left, just like when Company left, next man up. The show doesn't stop because of the manager, just like it doesn't stop because of a player. The goal is the goal. The standard is the standard. So will we have all the tributes and the documentaries, and they will be amazing, right? Like, get your City Plus account in order. However, who's next up? We winning next year? Are they going to do better than Pep's first? He's like, we moving on, right? The content don't stop. The show don't stop. So I want him to stay. I will go on record and say that. Please stay, Pep. Get this team right. Get us multiple trophies next year. Can't wait. And if you choose to leave and go be with your family and be a dad and get a sabbatical, get your Jurgen Klopp on, you deserve that, sir. Thank you. Who we going? Who we getting? That's it. Like, it's a win-win either way.
I'm with you. Pep can stay as long as he wants. I don't think he's going to leave in the summer. So, see you next season. I got excited. I forgot to talk about the Carabao Cup. Quick hits. How are we feeling about that? What do we got? Are we winning it?
Yes.
I was going to say, I'm going to say yes. I have to hope that we pull this off because that's probably the most realistic chance for a trophy. I mean, FA Cup is there too, but got to win the first one. So yeah, I'm going to say yes. It'll be tight. I'm going to go. I don't want to say that. I'm going to go 2-1 because I don't want to say anything about penalties and all that other crap.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to say 2-1. Arsenal gets us on a set piece. They're great at it. Or as a banger, that's how they score, which is great. Like, I respect the wins. They get them. I know what it's like to want to win that first one. It matters. And I think if we execute the same game plan without the Bernardo red card that we were going to do against Real Madrid, I think we smother Arsenal. Like, that game plan was perfect. We were cooking. They were boxed in. They had no chance, no outball. And Arsenal does not have Vinny Jr. or Mbappe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can beat. I think we're more talented than with our best 11, player for player. So I think on a neutral pitch at Wembley, even though it's close to the Arsenal, I think we win on Sunday.
Okay, let's go. All right, back to it. Okay. Baby Blue Baddies. First, congratulations to Alex Greenwood. She became a member of the Order of the British Empire, or MBE. The New Year's honors list for her elite performance and dedication to advancing women's football. She joined Steph Houghton, Joe Scott, Joe Corrigan, Raheem Sterling, and Lauren Hemp as City players who received their MBE. Jeggy was asked about the honor, and he said it obviously is a great honor to have someone like this on the squad. She represents us very well, what she does for women's football. But he said this about her leadership.
To have her in our squad, and also in these situations where we are at the moment of feeling the attention of the games, but at the same time having people that has been in these situations before with both national teams and club teams is crucial. And of course she's one of those that is always focusing on the next target, not thinking too much what happens if. She's just focusing on each training session, each game, and that's definitely what we need from her at the moment.
A consummate professional, a fashion killer, and a face that is always fierce. We appreciate you and love you, Alex Greenwood. Congratulations on the MBE. Jeggy said it is good to have the ladies back from the break. He's not a fan of how long the breaks are now. That it looks like it's going to become a usual, the 2 weeks where it's a week of practice and then a week of games. The decision is made from people above him. So that means there's no reason to worry, complain, or discuss it again. That is what he said. I thought it was hilarious. But he did say the good that is coming from the break is the ability to be able to work with players who didn't go to the national team. These are players who normally need more attention to how to grow their game, but they're not going to be able to get it week to week because you're kind of focusing on the aspect of the games that are coming up instead of like specific players. He did expect the players who were returning to take a few days to adjust back to the expectations of City. He even believed that in the game, it would take a little bit for the rustiness to break off. This is what he said about Aston Villa, and as always, it's spot on.
So it is definitely a team that will challenge us if we don't perform on the level that we need to. It was the same when we played here, that even though the result become pretty big in the end, it was a tight game quite a long time during the game also. So it will be a tough opponent definitely on Sunday.
There were a couple of questions about the younger players. Blinkilly Brown, she was called up for the Three Lionesses. She played in as a 10, though. So Jeggy was like, was asked, hey, when she first came to the club and when you first got here, she was playing as a 10. Now she plays next to Yui. Like, what are your thoughts on her and her ability?
I think she has showed also in how we have been playing with her position here together with Yui and also with Sam and with Grace Clinton and Sinelom. I think those who plays as a central midfielder in how we play needs to be able to play as a 6 and to play as an 8 and as a 10, because we want them to be very fluently and dynamic. So she's having those qualities, and I think she's best when she can be both in the pocket in front of the back line, but also being part of the build-up.
And Benet, similarly, she has filled in where she's needed to be. She's played 10, she's played winger, she's played fullback, but we know she plays fullback for our national team. Most recently, she played in the fullback, replacing Kasparai. Like, is that where he technically sees her?
Depends on how you define defending player, because I think that when we don't have the ball, we all defend, but she was in the back line definitely. She plays as a fullback, but her role, both her and Kirsten's role, has a very big impact to our attacking game, and with Iman in that role, she has the game in front of her. She can own that line on her own, the flank, because that player is in general going inside a little bit more. It's been the same for Kirsten. So I think that fits Iman very well to play in that position.
His ability to semantic you to death depends on what you mean a defender. Like, she's technically playing in a fullback. She's part of the back line. But is she a defender? I have him attack. but because everybody defends, like bro is such a waffler, and I get it, and his whole thing is versatility. So it's no different than Pep. If Pep could play 11 midfielders on the pitch, he would. And it seems like that's exactly what Juggy would do too. I'm here for it. I respect it. Starting 11 was Keating, Kasperai, Rose, Knock, Greenwood, Coffey, Blinkilde, Brown, Miedema, Carolyn, Hemp, and Shaw. So Keating replaced Yamashita, who was gone. Blinky stepping in for, I assume, Hasagawa, who would be there. 0-0. Incredibly frustrating. Honestly, the first half possession, Aston Villa had 61% of it. They had a 1.54 XG to City's 0.24. It was in the second half where City had the 56% possession and had the 0.79 XG to Aston Villa's 0.03. So it really was a tale of two halves. I don't know how Aston Villa didn't score in the first half because they were bringing it to us. Like fucking Hansen looked dangerous the entire time. Grant looked really good. Like if she either earned a pay raise at Aston Villa or a pay raise and a move. John Francois, who is a loanee from Chelsea, she showed her ability as to like why she's at Chelsea and why Chelsea need to play her more next season. Ellie Roebuck looked all the player that we thought she could be, but then had like her injuries and her struggles at City, which that's how she is now at Aston Villa. She looked great. It was just a very frustrating match because our defense did everything they could to keep us in the match, but our attack just really couldn't get going.
It looked like one team had a bunch of internationals who just got back from break, and the other team did not, and had more training time, and just came out firing, man. Like, their legs looked so fresh. They were pressing. They were at home. They had everything behind them right there in Villa Park, in the big stadium. Like, it was just, they performed really well. And credit to our team, right? Like, no goal was conceded. Keating stepped in, did her job. You know, all you could ask for was a clean sheet out of a keeper. I just think there was some rust with our attack. Just couldn't finish one. And we had so many close chances, near chances, either a block here, a save there by Roebuck. It's a frustrating draw, but a frustrating draw is still better than a loss when you're just trying to accumulate points. Like, we just couldn't drop 3 point earned on the road. That was our first draw of the season, which is crazy. So usually we win. It was fresh. It was a little frustrating, but for me, the context made sense. Like, if we do this again versus Spurs, then I become concerned. Then I'm worried about nerves and pressure and all that. I'm going to give this one as, just, hey, toss it up, charge it to the game, and credit to Aston Villa for making it tough.
Okay. And I mean, and even if so City just need 9 more points in 5 games because the most points Chelsea can get is 51. So City we're at 43 points. So we just have to get to 52.
Whoa. Beware of Arsenal. They had 2 games in hand. So I think their max is 53.
Okay,
so we
that's
still
fair.
need.
Okay.
I think we still need 10, right? Or
so yeah,
9?
no, that's 10. Yeah, so 10 to draw, which we have the goal difference lead. But
so
anything, but that, yeah. So I would just say 11 to be safe. So yeah,
Yep.
10 points to draw, 11 to be safe. Okay, that's fair. Arsenal have a lot of games to play still. Like, they're going to be exhausted. They're going to know.
Now, they're tough games. They have to still play in the league at Aston Villa. They got to go to Liverpool's been playing better.
They still have to play the Chelsea Champions League games.
Yeah, like they got a tough stretch here. They don't just play the bottom of the bottom. The Leicester City one will be a win. Like, so they're going to probably drop points. But again, even if they win all their games, we just need 10 more points from the last 5.
Yeah.
And I bet on us to get those 10 points.
Yeah. At least 3 wins, 2 wins, 3 draws. Like, though they're easy way. Well, no, technically 3 wins. 2 wins and 3 draws is not good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we win. We play Tottenham. Shout
I was
out
gonna
to
say we
Lauren.
got Tottenham and we got United coming up as
I
well.
know.
United's in third, Tottenham's in fifth.
Well, and
United drew today 0-0 too.
And Chelsea, they play Chelsea in the Champions League, so they're both gonna just. Oh no, that's Arsenal. Sorry, that's Arsenal. Never mind. I was gonna say they're just gonna tire each other out, but that's how I feel about Chelsea and Arsenal. They're gonna tire each other out. Man United, it's over for them. They have so many players injured. They have a very thin lineup, and they're playing a lot of games this season. Like if Millard and Park aren't playing out their minds, they aren't good. And we're kind of seeing Jess Park tire out.
And the timing of our match versus United in the derby is perfect. It's after their first leg against Bayern Munich, which is going to be tough. They played it on a Wednesday night. They get us on a Saturday morning. So it's a very short turnaround. They don't have to travel, or Saturday afternoon for them, sorry. They don't have to travel, but still, like, that's a lot to do. And knowing you got the second leg coming up. So the manager has to make a decision. Do I play my best 11 3 matches in a row going into the international break? Or do I sacrifice the derby, which is going to be hard to say. So it's just, like, if they have a close first leg, that even helps us even more. I know we're better than them, but yeah, the schedule's our friend.
Anything's possible. Yeah, and we should be Tottenham. Shout out to Lauren, our usual Tottenham women's supporter, came through. We haven't talked since the beginning of the season, since they played them. I think the match was like in September, so it's been some months. Tottenham have made a lot of moves. They brought in some players. Like we saw we saw Roebuck last week. We'll see Julie Blackstad this weekend. So yeah, they will look better. We beat them down 5-1, I believe, the last game, or was it 3-1? No, it was 5-1. So I don't expect that's going to happen again. But as long as we win, I don't care. We just need 3 points. No more draws.
I'd be shocked. They've conceded 26, which is a solid amount, probably mid-table towards the bottom. I don't think we score 5 because I don't think we're in flow like that, but I think we can get 2 and they get 1. So I'm going to go 2-1 City.
Dang. Again, all I care is we win. All I care is we win, baby. All right. Great episode, Show Bros. Tarik, we'll start with you. How can people find you and the things that you do?
You can find me on social media at Tarik Peterson, TARIK PETERSON. That'll work on Twitter. It'll work on Blue Sky. It'll work on YouTube, where I do a Tuesday night live stream, effectively a call-in show. Talk Back Tuesdays every Tuesday night on YouTube. Again, you can just search for Tarik Peterson, and it'll take you to my page. So, yeah, appreciate it.
Sharpie.
At Sharpie Charlie on every social media platform. We love consistency. DMs are open for all my single women out there on the Eastern Seaboard. Let's be real, gas prices going up. I can't fly across country, but if you're on the East, we can figure something out. JK, LOL, haha. But really. And you can also find me doing watch-alongs with the homie Crunk Chocolate on Saturdays and Sundays as we watch both sides of Manchester City Football Club.
We out here. At Shades of Blue. If we are on an app, you can find us by typing in at Shades of Blue NW. Check out the shirt. Episode descriptions at Shades of Blue NW. We will see you tonight for Lit Stream. Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Like Sharpie said, watch alongs this weekend. Until next time, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang. 4 years.